Hey guys, welcome to another Anime Kingdom discussion slash review. This discussion slash review will be on Black Bullet episode 8. So, this episode starts off with one of the monoliths being attacked by Gastria. And pretty much, I don't know what it was, but it was like this huge, gigantic thing. And it just like spit everywhere, including on the soldier that was there. And then all of a sudden, explosions everywhere and at the camp, like one of the camps, I think, and all of a sudden the Gasteria started attacking the soldier, and then that was pretty much the beginning. After that, it cuts off somewhere in the outer district area where there's a bunch of cursed children, and it seems that they're at school, and this turns out the teachers are Rentaro and Kisara, which is pretty funny because then they're all like pretty nervous. It's pretty like, oh no, what? And then he like they ask questions and they're all like, is it true that you're gonna marry Enju and you're living with her and you're gonna marry her? And then when Kisada went up, her questions one of the girls asked was, is it true that your boobs are so big that you can't even see your feet? And I was just cracking up. It was really funny. And then after Sentenshi sama, she arrives and leaves with Rentaro and Kisada, and then that's where she discusses and tells them that one of the monoliths will be destroyed by a stage 4 Gasteria known as Aldebaran. And it's like, which is weird because there actually was, you only be able to not be affected by the monoliths if they were stage 5. But it seems that this one can. And is famous for destroying like entire districts. So after that, she asked Rentaro to put together a team that will fight the Gasteria while because then during that time it's gonna be destroyed in 6 days. Yeah, 6 days, and they're actually building a new monolith, but that'll take 9 days. So in the amount of time, it's not enough because she says that there are 2,000 Gasteria waiting outside that monolith, and once that goes down, they calculated that it will everyone in the Tokyo area will be killed, and so he needs to put together a team to fight the Gasteria while they finish the monolith. After that, Rentaro returns home and he comes to a really cute lolly moment with both Enju and Tina dressed up as characters from the anime Tenchu Girls in the one that Enju always talks about and watches before with her friends, and they're all dressed up and it was really cute. After that, they eat dinner, which is pizza, and they're like, "Ooh, this is really good." And it turns out Tina actually makes it, and they go, "What else can you make?" And Tina just starts listing off a bunch of different type of pizzas, and they're like, "What you?" And she's like, "Oh, I only can make pizza," which is pretty weird of all things to know how to cook is pizza, but it was pretty cute. And after that, it goes to them, going to sleep, and Rentaro can't go to sleep, and Tina's like, "Oh, you can't sleep right now?" And she asks, to talk to him, and then they have a little cute moment together where she ends up asking him to call her, no, her to call him Oni-san, and it was so cute, and he was like, "Oh yeah," it was, oh gosh, so cute. But yeah, so and then they're like, "Oh, I guess it's time we should go to sleep," and she's like, "Oh, only if I can use your arm as a pillow." So it ends up with him sleeping with like a face with both Tina on one side and Enju on the other side holding on to him. And then it comes to the morning. Kisada walks in and says that she's there to pick up Tina, and she's like, "Oh, where is she?" And then here comes Tina under the blanket by his crotch area. And oh my gosh, this part was so funny because she starts talking about how, oh, last night was fun, yeah. It was scary at sometimes, but I was happy that you taught me new things. And oh my god, that was just so funny because he was like, "Oh, Tina," and then she was like, "Oh no, she beat me to it." And Kisada's like, I'm gonna call the police. And it was just so, it was funny. But yeah, after that, it shows him and Tina on a train, and they're gonna find, people to join his team. And over there, and pretty much like, and Tina's like, oh, David Oni-san, and it's pretty much a date. They're going, they went clothes shopping, where she gets this really cute outfit, and he looks at the price tag. He's like, "Oh, what? No!" And he pulls her out. They go to this fountain, and she's all like, "Oh," with the fountain washing spraying everywhere, and then it ends with him and her at the claw machine, and he gets her something from it, and then after that they end up finding this other cursed child, and she's got a like blindfold, like bandages wrapped around her eyes, and he's like, "Oh, why are you like Cause oh yeah, I forgot to mention she has a sign that says she's a cursed child, and I guess she's asking for money, and he goes up to her and asks her how come what happened to her eyes, since cursed children aren't affected by diseases, and then she states that she poured lead into her eyes because her mom abandoned her because she hated her eyes and stuff. And I was just like, wow, that is messed up. I mean, I know the gasteria are messed up, and the cursed children, they are pretty much, they will turn sooner or later, but still, it's just so messed up, the discrimination between them. And that was the own mother. Like, what? But he ends up giving her money and telling her to not go back there, because just not to go back there. And she's like, oh, okay. And then behind her, all of a sudden, there's a whole mob of people with signs telling them, talking about forget the gas, about talking about the gasteria, and what they want to kick out all the cursed children out of the city. And after that, they end up at this one place where Rentaro actually gets called a pervert. He's like, oh, the pervert again. And it's pretty funny scene with this girl talking about him, and he's like, oh, I come to give you a mission. He's like, I don't want a mission from you. It was really funny. And then he walks in to this pretty much a dump, and he's like, oh, it looks like business is good for you right now, huh, Kitagi? And he's like, no, that's the guy. And he's all like, don't have to be you know you don't have to be stupid or something. I forget what exactly the wording, but he's just like, what do you want? And then Rentaro talks about he wants to put up. Oh no, he doesn't. No, Kitagi actually, I guess, already heard, and he talks about how, oh, I'm guessing you're looking for people to join your team because the monolith is being destroyed, and no one else will join you because he's pretty much a new upstart. No one wants to join him, and he has no respect yet. So, and then he's like, what do I get in return? And he's like, oh, but you get, both of you will die if the monolith is destroyed. You get money and a promotion. He's like, that's all I don't do. Blah 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 blah. And then it shows Rentaro super serious, and then Kitagi sees that, and he's like, oh, you sure have changed over the short while that I've last seen you. And then he tells him that, I don't work for anyone that's weaker than me. So they end up going to this. It's a pretty cool fight scene. Not super long, of course, but it's a cool fight scene where Kitagi and his partner Yazuki versus, Rentaro and Tina. Yazuki is spider, um, a spider type, while of course, Tina is an owl type. So they end up fighting, and Rentaro and Kitagi both punch each other's hand, fist to fist, and then all of a sudden, zzz, and he has vibranium, I think it was called, yeah, vibranium chainsaw brass knuckles, and he's like, oh, what? Because it pretty much saws off parts of it. Of course, luckily it was a vibranium hand, but still. And then he starts swinging at him, and then Rentaro backs up into like a string thing, and he's like, oh, because Yazuki is a spider type, so she's making string thread everywhere. So he has, and it ends up being everywhere around him, so he can't really move. And Kitagi can see that because he has a certain type of glasses, which is pretty cool. It's like my glasses, Gunner glasses, yellow, and he can see where the strings are, so he knows where they are. And then he ends up saying like, he's like, no, you can't move anymore, so now it's over. And he's about to kick him, and then Rentaro uses his eye, and he's like, and he sees it, and it goes down, and boom, hits him to the ground, and then kicks him straight up into the, with one of his moves into the ground. And Kitagi gets up like, you bastard, if that was anyone but me, you would have killed them. And he's like, you're still, and Rentaro's like, you're still alive? And then he's like, you got a problem with that? It's really funny. And then, but after that, he's like, well, and looks like the girls are almost finished too. And then it shows Yuzuki like jumping all around, bringing, string around Tina. And Tina just eyes closed using her, those camera things, drones, and just moving around, dodging everything. And he's like, and then Kitagi's like, you can see that it's over. It's over already. And then we know who the winner is, and he gives Rentaro his glasses, and he puts it on and sees that Yuzuki is putting the string all around her so she can't move. And then Yuzuki jumps up in the air and tells her, give up now, you're not gonna win. And then she like, I warned you, and she jumps down, and it looks like, obviously Tina can't move anywhere, and then all of a sudden Tina like grabs the string and stuff and moves it around, and then huge explosion, and it shows both of them like to the ground, Tina below Yuzuki, and then she's got like pulled the strings in a certain direction where Yuzuki's hand, her hit couldn't go anywhere because she was stuck, and then Tina's two fingers were right at her eyes, like game over. And Rentaro's like, yeah, looks like we see who the winner is. And then she's like, you're strong. Why would you? Yuzuki's like talking to Tina. You're really strong. Why would you want me? I would just get in the way. And Tina's like, I would have to say that you did a really good job considering I was, ranked 98 while they're ranked like 1,800 something. And then they're like, what? And then after like, like, yeah, you did good. And then Yuzuki's like, oh, Tina, and blah blah blah, marry me. And I was just like and then Rentaro and Kitagi talk, and like Kitagi ends up joining up. He's like, he will join up with him. And then at the end it shows like a bunch of helicopters flying around where the monolith is being destroyed, and that was the end of the episode. So I rate this episode it was pretty interesting. Of course, it ends up, it's the start of a new thing, so it's nothing too big yet. They had a little comedy pretty much throughout this episode, and then there was the cute date, and then between, pretty much Tina and Rentaro moments, and then at the end we had the cool battle scene. So I give this one. I give this a good review. I like this episode. I definitely would I liked it. So what I can't wait is for the next episode. Next episode will either be him gathering more people, or that plus, or it goes straight into the action where they're fighting at the monolith, which I really can't wait because the battle scenes are really cool in this anime, and get to see all different types besides Tina and Enju and Yuzuki. So we'll see his group and them fighting. So I really can't wait for that. So this is the end of my discussion / review. So I want comment below what you guys thought about the episode. This is a discussion, of course. Comment about what you thought about the episode. What your thoughts on certain things in the episode. Ask questions if you want to know what I thought about this certain thing or that certain thing, and also what you are excited for in the next episode. And well, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this discussion / review. Till next time, guys. Bye.